So I am at the beach, one of my favorite beaches on the island, with Guinness, who you probably know by now is a super high energy dog. And one of the best things to do with a high energy dog is to take him to the beach and play some ball, some fetch. So that's what we're gonna do. But I'm also gonna talk about some of the general practices that I have learned for dealing with a high energy dog, giving him freedom and discipline while keeping him safe and engaged. So let's go. Guinea, you wanna go get it? Bring it. Over here. Oh, this sargassum is brutal out here. I mean, it's like a wall of sargassum. The seaweed is so thick, and of course it stinks too. So it's like, look at all the erosion that's happening here. Oof. The entire line is eroded with all this sargassum. It's wild. Guinea, catch. Catch. Yeah. So I'm not naturally a high energy person myself. Uh, I usually just want to chill out for the most part. So I don't. It's not my natural instinct to run up and down the Guinness. But he's high energy, so having the ball is like an essential tool because it's something that I can throw. I can stay in one position. I can throw it and have him do all the work and bring it right back to me. And we can do that as many times as I think is necessary. So we are under a jelly tree, coconut tree or whatever, and I am harvesting coconut seeds, dried coconut seeds. Oh, nope. I already found a few before I started filming. But basically, what I want is these, just the dried seeds that have dropped, because these are what are going to become coconut trees. You leave these literally just planted like a seed. You leave it sitting where you want it to grow. Eventually, a little shoot is going to pierce through the shell down into the ground, and then something's going to pop out to the top. Some leaves, shoots, and you'll have a coconut tree. So I already did this with one tree in my yard, from one of these coconuts or in the same area. So I'm back for more, and I already found one, two, it's a big one, and a third one. We're gonna try and take as many as we can. I mean, if I could find like maybe 2 or 3 more, that would be great. Because really, you can never have too many coconuts. Even if I have to make multiple trips back and forth to the car, I'll do that, just because the sooner you plant a bunch of coconuts in your yard, the better. And even though right now the coconut trees they're stunted because the goats keep coming into my yard and they eat down the leaves. Still, the tree is growing and it's already rooted. So I figure it makes sense to just have a few more, to get a few more rooted. And yeah, that's gonna be a vibe. So that's what we're gonna do. First though, let me see. Resume control of this dog. Oi! I think I need to burn some of his energy. He's got way too much energy right now. Get it! As you can probably tell, Guinness is quite a wanderer, and he is. I have to keep him engaged as much as possible if I want his attention, if I want to really, really burn that energy. So, having him, run along the sand like this is obviously. I mean, if anyone who's ever tried to run across sand, it's a lot harder. So that's gonna help burn more energy than just a typical walk. But also I have to make sure that I am sort of like staying on like making sure to give him commands to bring it back every time, not allow him to wander like once he catches the ball. If I let up for like a second, Guinness is gonna go sniffing, wandering around someplace. So I have to make sure I'm telling him to bring it right back here for me, and just keep his attention on me, so that I can really, really, really keep that energy burnt. Oi! Come! Come on! Come on! Bring it! Right here. Out! Good boy. And yes, in case you're wondering, I do have to be a little bit harsh or
Good boy.
firm at the very least with my commands. Certainly when we're out in a space like this, because all Guinness wants to do is to be left alone, to just go and do whatever he wants to do. So if I want him to pay attention to me, I have to really, really
Good
mean
boy.
it.
Watch.
Find it. Go find it. Come on, go find your ball. Go get it. Find it. By the way, if you guys are interested in learning how I taught Guinness to fetch and find it, I'm happy to do a video about this, but that's if enough people are interested. So if you are, just leave a comment and say fetch, and I'll do a video.
Out.
Good. Let's see if you want some water. So, great thing about like living on an island with a dog is you get to come to the beach, especially a high energy dog like Guinness, because there's not a lot that can naturally burn his energy. Guinness is solar powered, wind powered, thermal powered. He's just got so much energy. So I have to like find ways to supplement his energy usage. So I'll bring him to the beach where it's a sandier terrain. It's more difficult for him to run across. It'll burn much more energy. He can go in the water, take a swim, a nice strenuous swim, and I can throw the ball really far and stuff like that. So this is what I have to do in order to burn this dog's energy. Come. You just have to make sure that you have water. Go ahead. Come on, drink. Finish? Come on. Boy. Yeah, that's what I want to see. The inclination to sit and relax sometimes. Even though I know the second I get my cup, Guinness is gonna be TTG. Okay? Ready to go. Trained to go. Actually, see, he's already ready to go again. So we're gonna do some more sprints. Get some more of that energy burnt. With trust the ball here. And as you can see, Guinness is fully ready to go. Whoops. Okay, down to the sea. I don't want to go into the sargassum though. I don't want to walk over this. It's so disgusting. Ugh. Here we go. It's not that bad, I guess. Just walk over that. Taking a dip. As long as you see water. Get your ball. Bring it. Watch me. Out. Pass it for me. Thank you. Good boy. Let's take a swim. You gonna pass it? Or are you gonna chill? Yeah. I can't say I'm not blessed, honestly. You know, I mean, we're both blessed, incredibly. And yeah, I mean, it just feels good to be able to enjoy the freedom of coming to a beautiful beach on a Saturday morning. Nice, chill ocean, even though it's kind of loud right now. And just kick it with my dog, the Guinea. So yeah, I'm telling you, man, a beach life is probably one of the best lives that you can give a dog, and also to yourself too, because having Guinness prompts me to come to the beach way more often than I would, even though I live on an island and I can come here whenever I want, because it's something that we take for granted all the time. You know, many mornings will pass and it won't even occur to me to, you know, go to the beach. But having a dog, I go, when's the last time I took the dog to the beach? Or I'll realize that he's bored and wants to go somewhere, and I'll go, okay, yeah, we can go to the beach on Saturday morning. And and it's just a great place, especially when you have beaches that are not very populated, because it's a great place to have him off leash, to give him a chance to run and you know, like I said, burn off all of his energy, and it helps me for the rest of the day too, because him getting a proper run, like really burning some energy this morning, is gonna set us up for a really quiet, chill day for the rest of the day. You gonna pass it for me? Thank you. Pass it. Good boy. Pass it. Out. Good boy. Nice and cool. For him to lie down. Yeah. You gonna pass it for me? You gonna pass it? Guinea. Nope. Most mornings would be probably too hot to be out here, just like this. I mean, some people like it. This is literally the middle of summer, so when that summer heat sets in, it's way too much for me. But this morning is pretty cool. Pretty, it's not overcast, but it's kind of like it's just got the right amount of cast. You know, to keep the sun at bay and to still be sunny and, you know. So like something that I always do when I come to places like this is, because it's so unpopulated and there's such an expanse, I always make sure that, like, especially because Guinness is off-leash, I always make sure that I'm scanning the horizon a little bit to make sure that there aren't any other people or dogs or just other things that have come around. We live on an island that has monkeys, so sometimes a monkey will pop out and he'll want to go chase it and stuff like that, which, depending on where we are, I would let him chase a monkey or something, but generally speaking, I try not to have him chasing things because Guinness has like a really high prey drive, which is another reason the ball is like it's just the go-to thing, because giving this dog something to chase, I mean, just look at his energy, just look at his reflexes. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. Try to keep the energy up. And also, like, having the ball is almost like a way of keeping his attention on me, because Guinness is also a wanderer. I mean, Guinness will explore every little nook and cranny. I mean, he's just looking for any opportunity to go off on his own. And he's pretty obedient and he'll come back, you know. It's just, the problem is what he gets himself into, because Guinness will go and try and like eat other like animal shit and stuff like that, which I cannot stand. So, and it's just not good. So I try to make sure that I keep him as focused on me as possible, and his obsession with this ball is, I mean, it's like a remote control. And I don't know if this is just intrinsic to him, or I don't know how much of it is nature versus nurture, because I've definitely, I mean, Guinness was always interested in balls, but I've definitely like facilitated his interest a lot. I've stimulated his interest a lot in balls. I mean, we have different sizes of balls and we play different types of games and stuff. I really put a lot of effort into his ball game or whatever, because I noticed that it's something that I can use. It's such a utility. Oi, out. Thank you. And yeah, so some of you will probably hear me having to like get very harsh with him sometimes. And it's not because I'm a mean person or I'm always yelling at my dog or whatever. It's because sometimes with Guinness, I mean, Guinness is very headstrong. He's incredibly willful, incredibly self-determined, and he has his own thing that he always wants to do. So even though he's very obedient and very well trained, sometimes he just gets into that headspace where I have to like snap him out of it you know, and he has to see that I'm serious, like, yo, you know. Um, so it's not all the time, but because of the type of dog that Guinness is, I think he's just he kind of needs sometimes a little bit of a harsh hand or a harsh kind of word, you know. But it's not because he's a bad dog or I'm a mean person or whatever it is. It's just his energy, you know. Look, I mean, just look at his energy. Just look at this dog's keenness. All because I have the ball in my hand. All because I have the ball in my hand. Ah. Come on. Boy. That's what I want to get. I want to get that chill. I want to see him kind of go, woof, woo, you know. And by the way, I do not. So this is something to talk about because not all dogs. I mean, this is not. This is specifically for high energy dogs. This type of activity, right? I think some smaller dogs would have challenges with this, and there's many breeds of dogs that are just not, that don't have this kind of. I mean, it's a couple of things because I personally believe that maybe 80% of a dog's life and behavior will be determined by the owner and his environment, for sure. I think it's about 80%. I think there is a good portion that's definitely intrinsic, you know. Dogs, you know, all dogs share certain characteristics, you know, the animalistic nature and that kind of thing. Certain types of drives that they'll have. Some dogs have a strong prey drive, other dogs have a stronger food drive. Some dogs are more inclined to be out in front when you're on a walk, and like Guinness is an out in front dog. He's the dog who wants to break through the frontier. He wants to scout. He wants to clear the way. He wants to make sure everything is. He's the one who's, you know, he's the arrowhead. There are other dogs that are more inclined to stay closer to their owners, and there's other things, you know, like some dogs develop that inclination to stay closer to you after being neutered or spayed or whatever it is, to certain degrees. So I think all of that intrinsic nature makes up for about 20%. Maybe it could be more, but I'm saying 20%. The rest, the other 80%, I think is to do with your owner. Activity level, for instance, because I think even if you have certain breeds of dogs that are not typically like very active and hyper dogs, if you have an active lifestyle and you have a relationship with that dog where he gets exposed to that lifestyle, he'll be much more inclined to participate in higher activity, higher energy activities. I mean, you as the owner still have to be very mindful of what type of dog he has. I'm not saying, listen, if you have a pug, don't take them to the beach and throw a ball and make them run far distances and that kind of thing, because pugs are not great. I mean, they don't have a great respiratory system. The short snout is a problem. Getting air sometimes. There's other dogs that have like joint issues. I wouldn't recommend this type of thing with a Great Dane or something like that. I would moderate the activity to fit those breeds for sure. Guinness is just a naturally high energy dog, and I tend to like high energy dogs. because I like this kind of activity. I like being able to come to a nice wide open space and throw a ball and have them run and go catch it and burn a lot of energy and keep them really fit and really active and really healthy. So Guinness is incredibly fit. I mean, he can jump really high. He can catch. He can fetch. He follows commands really well. He's really good at performing. You know, he's not just hyper. I've put a lot of work into making sure that he's not just like uncontrollably hyper, because I think Guinness could easily tend that way to become like destructive and uncontrollable because of his high energy. But because I like notice that and I go, okay, he's a high energy dog. I can't have him home all the time. I can't leave him chained up or crated up all the time. I can't leave him in the house all day every day and he never gets any, you know, I can't just take him for like a couple of leisurely walks every few days or something like that. No, I need to like make sure that Guinness has a daily regimen, or like he has to have a daily regimen of high activity, of bursts, of, you know, intensity and rest. He needs to maintain his mental and physical acuity. He needs to be he needs to be obedient but still very active. And as you can see, like, he's very keen. Like, I like nurturing his spirit. You see how keen he is. He's very much like, give me that ball. I want to get it. But he's not allowed to like attack me. You see, he's like, exactly. You see, so like he's keen for the ball, but he's not gonna grab it and take it from me. He's not gonna jump at me. I mean, he'll jump a little bit if he gets too excited, but he still knows that like there's a level of respect, there's a level of obedience, there's a level of this is actually not your ball, it's actually my ball. And I can talk about that in another video, like how I make it clear to him that this ball does not belong to him. It is my ball that I allowed him to play with. It's actually, if anything, it's our ball. So he doesn't claim it. He knows that if I want to take it from him, it's mine. And there's no fighting. Even though he's this keen. Good boy. Come. Out. Good. Right here. Out. Good boy. Come. Good boy. So that's another thing. It's like I was talking about earlier with Guinness, especially because of his high energy, and because of how I need, if Guinness is going to be living in my house and riding in the car, he needs to be well behaved, he needs to be obedient, he needs to be under a certain level of control. So I don't play around. I'm very strict. I'm very loving and very fun. You know, that's the life of having a dog. right? You shouldn't have a dog if he's gonna make you miserable and that kind of thing. Guinness definitely brings me joy most of the day. There's sometimes he really gets on my nerves, but um, 99% of the time Guinness and I just have a lovely, wonderful, happy relationship. But there is that 1% that is that voice that you hear me do that says I'm not playing around. So when I say to come, you come. When I say to drop it, you drop it. When I say to leave it, you leave it. There is no pleading and no I hope he listens to me this time. There's none of that. There's what I said to do and your action that immediately follows it. And does Guinness do what I tell him to do 100% of the time? No. Probably 98% of the time Guinness does what I tell him to do. The other 2% is dealt with immediately. So if Guinness is doing something I tell him to come and he doesn't come, the minute, once I say come a second time and he does come, that second time he's on leash. Because what you've demonstrated to me with that first disobedience is that, okay, you need to be reminded that for you to be able to come to a place like this and enjoy the freedom of having your dog off leash, knowing that he'll listen to you, knowing that you can take a ball and play fetch with him, knowing that he's obedient and well behaved and makes good decisions. That requires work, it requires boundaries, it requires difficult decisions sometimes, it requires you to get out of your emotions and your feelings sometimes and instill a sense of discipline shrouded by love, of course. Yeah. So it's been a lovely morning so far. I think we're probably gonna head out in a little bit. I'm gonna keep his energy going because again I want him to burn some energy. I want when we go home for him to be like really tired. Gotta find it. Yeah. Boy. Look at all this sargassum about to what more sargassum wash up on the shore. This has been like a major issue for us over the last few years, a result of global warming. This seaweed has been blossoming really heavily. So whereas you would normally have very little of it, no, there's so much of it. And what happens is, well, for one thing, because the beach gets completely walled up with sargassum, and when all of this starts to rot, it stinks and it attracts a whole lot of bugs and pests and stuff, and it just makes the beach experience really unpleasant. But it also has been causing a little bit of erosion and just general disruption to the fisheries too, because like fishermen are having a hard time navigating through some of this when it's really bad, when there's a lot of it. So yeah. You ready to go? I think he's ready to go. Come on, bring your ball. Let me get my bag. So there's I think 4 or 5 coconuts that I've put aside. I would love to have a coconut grove like this in my yard. Honestly, it'd just be so amazing. I'm from the Caribbean, man. I live in the Caribbean. You can't not have coconuts in your yard. You just have to. So I'm making sure that I collect my bounty. And we're gonna keep the energy going with Guinness. Yeah. I'm so bad whenever I throw this ball, the camera just gets completely Bring it, come on. Good boy. So this lovely coconut, big old beautiful coconut, is gonna come with me, and it's gonna grow into a healthy, wonderful coconut tree in my yard and give me coconuts just like this. This dog's energy is just wild. Even when I think okay, I've given him 10 sprints across the sand and he's had a swim and done all this and done that. Guinness is like, I don't care. Bring it on. More. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Find it. Guinea, come. Find your ball. Oh, good boy. Drop it. Oi. Drop it. Thank you. So, I'm gonna go and retrieve for all the coconuts. Oh, also, this grass is so nice and cool. I actually collected some of it before and planted it in my space as well. So, yeah. So we have our coconut haul. We got 3 nice ones with 3 dry ones and a semi-dry one. These dry ones, I mean, these are great because like you could there's a dry coconut in here, so I could actually burst open the husk of this thing and retrieve the dry coconut seed from in here and actually eat the coconut. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it sprout into a nice coconut grove in my yard. So that's what we're going to do. And see, Mr. Guinea is here. Actually, there's 4 dry ones. So I'm gonna take that. This as well. Okay, we're ready to go. These are nice.